What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, well, it's time we looked at those purple Digimon. And I'll be honest with you, I'm actually getting a little bit sad right now, because we're running out of Digimon! I have been really enjoying digging through all these new Digimon over the course of the last few weeks, especially in the last week when I've been knocking out 2 videos a day looking at all these new Digimon. I genuinely, and I'm not joking about this, I really enjoy making videos about new Digimon cards. I adore sitting down and digging through new Digimon cards, thinking up strategies, analysing them, making videos, etc. And purple's the last colour we've got to look at. And then I don't have any more to talk about. And I am genuinely, legitimately sad about this. Because, I mean, we need some more reveals, right? Because I love talking about Digimon too much. Having said that, there's going to be news, there's some deck lists we can go through. Don't worry, the Digimon videos, they ain't stopping. So starting off then, let's have a look at another Gabumon. Because, you know, we needed another Gabumon, right? We have not had enough Gabumon. A quick search at DigimonCard.dev will show you we've had 6 different Gabumon, 7 if you count the alternate art. Oh, but in terms of mechanically different, we've literally, this is number 6. And this is only set 4. Is this Gabumon any good? Not really. I mean, I don't want to be a downer here. We've got 3 cost to play normally, which is standard. 0 cost to Digivolve, which is standard. 4,000 power. And I feel like I made this point a lot, so I'm going to make it really quickly right now. 4,000 power is still really low. There are very few Digimon I'm going to be able to delete using this. And if I attack the security with this, I am expecting to go down, and I'm really lucky if I don't. So why am I playing this? I mean, the other purple Gabumon, okay, fine, it only has 2,000 power, but it's got an inheritable skill that when I'm deleted, I draw 2 and then trash a card from my hand. That is a way better skill. I'm drawing cards, I'm cycling through my deck, I'm seeing more cards, and I'm building up the trash, and we all know that sometimes purple decks are actually really quite good at playing from the trash. So my point here is, why am I playing this Digimon? I'm sorry, and we're going to start doing this a lot more quickly in newer videos going forward, because I've made the point a couple of times, although any video could be somebody's first. But the fact of the matter is, a tiny power bump on an already super weak Digimon is not a reason to play the card as far as I'm concerned. Yes, fine, it lets you take out your opponent's rookies if they're suspended, but their opponent rookies ain't going to be suspended. Because they're either going to attack the security and be deleted because they're incredibly weak, or they're going to not be suspended because they're waiting to Digivolve them up, and you can't attack them anyway. So any Digimon that attacks, you're not going to be able to attack because they're already going to be deleted, and any Digimon that doesn't attack is going to be unsuspended, so you're not allowed to attack them. Why? And if you attack the security, you're going to go down. Don't play this card. Okay, to be fair, against Rookie Rush, it's going to be pretty good, but can you really rely on it playing against Rookie Rush that often? It depends on your metagame, I suppose. Moving on, we can have a look at level 3 Ghost Mon, which is one that I like much more. It is a 3 cost to play normally, 0 cost to Digivolve, both of those are incredibly standard, 2,000 power, which means if we are going to play this, we are going to need a reason to do so, and we absolutely have a reason to do so. It has got a skill that at this stage is probably going to start looking a little bit familiar. If it is trashed using a Digiburst skill from this Digimon, put it in your hand instead. It is one of those, we've seen these in a bunch of colours so far. We saw Labramon over in green. We saw Agamon in red. This is the kind of thing we've seen a few times before. And my opinion on these Digimon, I mean, they haven't changed. I feel like these, as I felt about the others, I think they're cool. I think you've got to be playing a Digiburst deck, but you're talking standard cost to play normally, standard cost to evolve, weak power, but you're not going to be attacking with them. And what it basically does is it fuels you for the game. It means that you could be playing a slightly cheaper Digimon, or you could be playing a Digimon with a different inheritable skill, the Gabumon I showed you a moment ago, for instance. But this is basically saying, I mean, we've all had those games, right? Where you hatch a Digi-Egg, but you just don't have a rookie in hand, so you can't actually evolve the Digi-Egg into anything. Or you've got enough memory to cast a Digi-Egg, you've got 2 memories. What you really want to do is play a free-cost Digimon, so you have an extra Digimon out, but your opponent starts their turn with 1 memory, etc. But we don't have them. Well, these Digimon make you have them. It is a way of putting extra rookies into your hand. It's basically drawing into an extra rookie in the mid-game, which is awesome. Plus, it's on a Digiburst skill, so you essentially get to control how, when, why, if, etc. this actually activates. So you know what? I'm in on this. This is cool. This is a kind of card which I really do think is going to see a bunch of play. It's only for Digiburst decks, but if you're playing a Digiburst deck, let's do this. Moving on, we've got Labramon. Now, Labramon, in terms of stats, is exactly what we expect from the others. It's a Digimon with a decent skill. And a level 3 Digimon with a decent skill is a free cost to play normally, 0 cost to Digivolve, 2,000 power. You're pretty gosh darn weak, but you're weak because you've got a skill, so that's fine by me. And I think I've made it pretty clear at this stage, I would rather have a nice skill like this than go up to 4,000 power, which is honestly rarely, if ever, going to be relevant anyway. But it's got a nice skill. When you play, you draw a card, and then you trash a card from your hand. I love this. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not perfect. It's one of those you don't actually end up with any more cards, but you get to cycle your cards a bit more. You don't get a card advantage, but you do get to see more cards, which means it's more likely you're going to draw into the ones you want. And again, a lot of the time we're desperately searching for our level 5s, 4s, 6s, whatever it might be. You want to go through your deck and draw into those bigger, more impressive Digimon. You need to be able to draw into them. Oh, look, this is really going to help. And honestly, there's a parallel to Gabumon here. That is the Gabumon in blue that is a free cost that when you play it, you draw a card. Fine, you got to trash a card from your hand, but if that Gabumon sees a whole bunch of play in blue decks, I don't see why this wouldn't see a bunch of play in purple decks. The only downside here is you got to trash a card from your hand as well, but bearing in mind how often purple plays from the discard, and bearing in mind, most of the time, not all the time, but again, you can test this. Next time you're playing a game, keep this in your mind, look at your hand and think, is there a card I'm willing to get rid of? Most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, there's going to be a card in your hand that you wouldn't mind parting with, that you are willing to give up. And you draw before you trash a card. So if you end up drawing something that you really didn't want, that can be the card that you trash. I think this is going to end up being a staple in purple decks. You need to play a bunch of level 3s. Some of them are going to be a little bit cheaper. But why not? I mean, Tapermon is already one of the best rookies we've got in purple. At least it's one of my favourites. And that draws a card on deletion. This draws a card when you play it. And then trash the card from your hand. But still, is this any worse than Tapermon? I might like it a bit more than Tapermon, because at least you don't have to be deleted. Because Tapermon, you end up with a card in the trash and you end up with a card in your hand. Well, that's what you end up with here. I like it. I really like Labramon. I think this one is going to see a whole bunch of play. So let's finish off having a little bit of a look at Bakemon. And Bakemon is a vanilla Digimon. So we're going to need a reason here. There needs to be something that sets it apart and makes us want to play it. Well, we've got a 5 cost to play normally, 2 cost to Digivolve, 6,000 power. Is anything there particularly great? Well, the 2 cost to play normally is what we see from pretty much every level 4 out there, so that's not particularly good. The 5 cost to play normally is lower for a level 4. But I'm not entirely sure that it's low enough. Certainly not, doesn't strike me as stunning. And no, honestly, it's not. There's plenty of level 4 purple Digimon that you can play for 5. Many of which have other skills. So I think we're at the stage here where I just don't see the point of this. I mean, this is actually Yukamon. We looked at Yukamon the other day. It's one of the starter deck purple cards. This is a vanilla level 4 purple Digimon with the exact same stats as Yukamon. And I told you I didn't like that. I mean, right, if I'm going purple and I'm going level 4, there are 2 cards which I think are inarguably better than Bakemon. We've got Meromond that is a 1-cost to Digivolve, which, as far as I'm concerned, is just better. Like, there's no real reason to not play Meromond. Oh no, you lose 1,000 power. Nobody cares. Because the fact of the matter is, you're Digivolving for 1 less. I will happily give up the 1,000 power. Or we've got Vilemon. And Vilemon is the same cost to play normally, the same cost to Digivolve, the same number of power, or the same amount of power, but has blocker. Now, admittedly, you do give up 2 memory to attack, and that kind of sucks. So, maybe you don't play it for that, but come on. No. As far as I'm concerned, you want to play Vilemon, who's a pretty good blocker, or you want to play Meromond, who Digivolves more cheaply and gives up 1,000 power, but I do not care about the 1,000 power. I think this is one of those Digimon where I don't see any real advantage to this. I mean, even if you desperately wanted it, we've already had it with better artwork. So, I don't want to say pointless, but it's pointless. But it's alright. We didn't need them all to be winners. I showed you Labramon in this video, and Labramon looks good. But I'd like to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.